welcome back. Scarred Not Silent. This is Rodney G with you. And before I get started on the normal broadcast, there's this a thing I forgot to tell you when I was in South Carolina, which to me was kind of a moment. We was in Atlanta airport and we just kept getting rebooked to fly out to get to Charleston, South Carolina. And mind you, the flight it was just a horrible situation, like that half a day already. So this didn't help anything out any. By this time, my wife was already irate and pretty much in tears just because everything was going wrong to get to South Carolina. So we went to the customer service section and spoke to them. They set us down and we waited for a manager to come speak with us. And in between that, in between her tears, I look over and I heard, well, actually, before I looked over, I heard somebody go, "Hey, Mr. Brown, how you doing, Mr. Brown? Nice to see you." And like this guy was like saying key words like, "I need an autograph." And, so I turned my head and I looked over and I did another like double take. And it was Les Brown sitting in one of the airport wheelchairs. And I guess there was an issue. They was trying to get his situation worked out as well. So I'm sitting over there and I'm I call it ear hustling. I was ear hustling the conversation and listening in, but I really wasn't paying attention to the conversation other than I was just kind of in amaze that Les Brown was sitting in there. And if you don't know Les Brown, look him up, motivational speaker, and he'll tell you the story. So just look up Les Brown, L-E-S Brown. And he had his black suit on with his red shirt and he was smiling. It seemed like he's always smiling. Like even in the videos, he's always smiling. And I'm still just looking at him. So I had to take a second because then I realized I had this big smile on my face, like a little kid. And I'm not even a starstruck person, so celebrities don't really do a whole lot for me. Like the most is I like to look and just kind of stare. I'm like, oh, that's actually the person type of thing. And this is what I was doing. But Les Brown we caught eyes and he must have just kind of seen me just smiling there. And he looks over and he gives me a thumbs up. And then all I could do was like shake my hand as like, hi. First off, I didn't want to be rude and go and ask for like an autograph. First off, it's an autograph. What am I going to do with this autograph? I don't have anything to put it on, really, other than some loose paper if I could find some. But I kind of want to just be in the moment, just let him work out whatever he was doing. He had another person there with him. I don't know if it was an assistant, but they wasn't going on the same flight. So this person was helping him out, and we just smiled, and he just had the biggest smile when he kind of gave me the thumbs up. And I thought, oh, that's cool. Like no conversation, but the thumbs up was just enough for myself. And that moment was probably one of there was many highlights, but that was kind of one of the cool highlights, like, because it wasn't planned. It's just out of the blue happened there. I just happened to see Les Brown, who I followed for a long time. So very cool, very cool. Outside of me not being the best console, my wife was in agony about the trip, or at least about that plane flight at the time. So going on to the kidney. So guess what? I finally get the call. You remember the episode? I was like, I got the call. Well, I get the call. I get the real call. The call. This time it was really the call. I'm not even going to play around with you guys today. It was the call. And the call was very, very scripted out. Like they knew what they were saying. We found you a match. They didn't give a whole lot of details about it. Basically, they gave me like time and dates, make sure to pack certain items, be prepared, get any transportation arranged that you need. And that's kind of like the gist of it. So if I remember correctly, and I know you probably like, well, this guy don't even remember. No, like I always say, between COVID and prednisone, yeah, memories has taken a beating a little bit. But I believe it was at least like a week, I feel like, before I actually got to like before we got into the actually medical process. I think there was like a wait because everything still had to get transitioned. We're talking with multiple people, including my donor, who, remember, wasn't quite my donor because she was too petite, and then the actual donor that I got it from, and then the person who received a kidney because my donor gave me initial original donor was willing to give me a kidney. So we're talking about a chain here that had to be well oiled and calculated. So I think there was a series of at least a week or at least 4 days or something before we had to be in San Diego. So it left me some time for some reflection. I know you like, man, this dude's always reflecting, and I reflect a lot. I reflect all the time. I love reflecting because it keeps me humble and keeps me grounded, appreciating where I'm at today in life. Even though I'm not where I want to be, but I appreciate where I'm at in life today because I want to be a whole lot different where I'm at right now. But I'm doing a whole lot better than a lot of people. And I guess the reflection mainly was all these emotions coming running in when you actually know the call is the real call, and fear starts to set. And for me, I thought all of the education comes flooding in from when you do the orientation, like, oh, the death, you could die on the medical table. And then I have to start taking these um, anti-rejection, then the cancer. So, like all the worst of the worst things like start popping to your head, and you start kind of freaking yourself out. And you're like, well, who's gonna help take care of, me when I get to the house? Like my wife was able to, but she was gonna have to go to work. And for weeks, you'll need somebody to stay with you after the kidney transplant. So I'm in San Diego. I didn't have any family like in San Diego after all of the, when you say when the storm's done and you just everything settles and you get back to what we call normal. Like people have to go back home and people have to work. So who's gonna be there to help care for me? And I didn't have to do it was more of just somebody watching you so you don't fall out and just hit the floor, or so you're not sneaking around picking up a 45-pound dumbbell to move to get out of your way and then you rip open your stitches. That's really what it boils down to. And plus you're on these medications too now, so I do want to make sure that you're responding well with the medications. So you need somebody there basically 24/7. So I'm going through that. Who's going to be there for that? Because alternatively they could put you into a nursing home if you didn't have anybody to watch you. And so I was in my head, I was thinking about the nursing home. I'm like, oh my gosh, then I could get C. diff. And then what happened if I go ahead and you get sick in a nursing home? And then you start thinking about some of the patients, like I'm going to be on the call light for how long? So just all these different things pop into your head and you just freak yourself out. Eventually you have to calm the chatter, right? I spoke about calming the chatter and just realize that you have professionals who have years of training and anything could happen. You could have died waiting for the kidneys, and I already gave you that statistic. So now you're there. Now why freak yourself out? There's a little fear is understandable because you're going back to the unknown again. Instead of focusing on freaking out, focus on your life without tubes, being able to pee again. Some of those things that you lost, which was your independence, you're going to gain back. But you have to go through the storm. You got to go through the pain and then move forward. And you keep it moving. It's always keep it moving because when you stop, you're dead. Right? I think it's a shark. Like if a shark stops swimming, it dies. Like from what I understand, like a shark cannot stop. I know they could take the shark and put it upside down and rub its belly and the shark gets paralyzed. I know that. But that shark stops swimming. It's basically a dead shark. It's like us. If we stop, we're not doing ourselves any good. So we got to keep moving forward. and you're going to move forward with a kidney. That's our best case scenario. So I'll get into more of the details on Monday, but at least you know I got the call. Now it's time to get the arrangements made and figure out where you stay at and their donors and when they're going to be there and their surgery. And now everything kind of moves at 100 miles per hour pace. Some professionals have already done this many times, but for us, it's 100 miles per hour, including your brain racing and your family. So you have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. And just kind of think about that. Like, you finally get what you want. Now, okay, do your thing, but come back to like all the graces you're gonna get. Scar not silent. This is Rodney G. Bye.